Hello, I wanted to make a video on how to bypass the 60 FPS cap on games, or how to manually cap your games so that way this application works better. Because you can use this on any game. The game doesn't necessarily have to have a capped frame rate built in or anything like that. So basically, lossless scaling is a program used. It used to be used primarily for its upscaling methods for resolution. So it would like render your game in. It would make your game rendered in 720 p, and then upscale to 1080 or like 1440 or whatever. That's just an example. You can change the resolutions around and stuff, but it was originally used for that, and later on they added a frame gen mode. Which is, I'm pretty sure it's what people are primarily buying it for now. It feels like free performance, really. So how to use this and apply it. So there's the 2x and 3x mode. I assume 3x is more intensive. I don't really notice it. I have a 3080, so I guess like if you're on a lower end system, you should probably stick to 2x. And if you're on a lower end system, you should really use performance, because this program it has a noticeable performance hit. I'm pretty sure performance mode on 2.1 has the same performance as 1.1 but looks better. That's what I've been told. But I don't know. There's, as far as I know, unlike most frame gen solutions like NVIDIA's or AMD's, there is response time issues, and there's noticeable response time issues. With this, I don't really have that. I'm not going to say it doesn't make your response time worse.
It is natural to feel dreadful of the unknown.
But I don't personally notice it. If you do happen to notice it, you can always allow tearing, and this will do exactly what it says. It will allow tearing in your game. You'll have screen tearing, but your game will be much more responsive. I don't like how it looks, so I would rather just turn off frame gen completely than turn on tearing. But that's just me. Let me see. Make sure that you have your GPU selected, not your integrated graphics. That will just don't do it. And then also make sure you have your correct monitor selected for where your game is windowed at. If you don't do this, you're going to have a lot of issues. If you have multiple displays, turn on display mode, and the rest of the settings you probably shouldn't mess with all these little ones over here. So to actually apply this, you click scale, and then you click on the game that you want to tab into for it to scale. There's a timer. So there we go. It's scaled now. So unfortunately, for some reason, OBS doesn't want to show what I'm looking at. It's kind of weird. So right now, you're seeing my entire wallpaper go black. Everything behind the border screen go black. And you don't see the frame rate counter at the top left of my screen either. I don't know why you're not seeing these things, but what I'm seeing right now on my monitor is full screen Wuthering Waves. It looks full screened, except I have a frame rate counter at the top left. It says 60/120, basically saying the frame rate I'm getting is 60, but it is upscaling to 120, basically making it feel like I have double the FPS. I don't notice any responsiveness difference between having it on and off. I've also never tried to use this in a competitive game. I don't play a lot of competitive games. For questions like that, you could probably just join the Discord for this program. The community is really friendly. Everyone there is very helpful. It works on browser content, so if you have like YouTube pulled up, or you're watching anime and you just want to kind of mess with it, they have anime 4K. I don't really notice like what anime 4K does. I'm sure it does do something. Maybe it's just because my eyes aren't great. I don't know. I don't really notice it.
It is natural to feel dreadful.
But I do notice the frame gen being used on anime in videos I'm watching. Um, it's
Like
cool.
how I
It's
can never
interesting.
know what
Some
else
people
this
don't like it. Some people do. They'll just have to test it out and see if it's your thing. Seeing anime in double the frames it was supposed to be is it's I don't know. It's odd. I like it. I think it looks cool. Um, there's more in-depth guides on how to use this and how to like do custom scaling. Every time I use custom scaling, I have issues, so I just leave it alone. It's probably because I don't know how to use it. Um, I probably went over this, but I can't stress enough. If your system
It is
isn't really
natural
up
to
to the
feel
task,
dreadful of the
and
unknown.
you're just trying to squeeze out a few more
Yet,
frames,
there
this
are
program
times when the unknown harbors
unfortunately
hope.
probably isn't like
Like
gonna
how I
save
can
your
never
PC
know
that's
what
only
else
getting
is
20 FPS in this game. But if you're really adamant, you really need to turn performance mode on. You really need to. LS1. I also want to say about the scaling type. LS1. It looks, in my opinion, a lot better than AMD FSR. I think it looks way better, even when performance mode is on.
It is
You
natural
can
to
turn it
feel
on or off.
dreadful
I
of the
think it
unknown.
looks better than AMD FSR
Yet,
all day.
there are times
Um,
when the unknown harbors hope.
what else? What
Like
else?
how I can
Let's
never
see.
know what else this
G-Sync, FreeSync, and V-Sync. You need to turn all of these off. I haven't tried it with them on, so I can't tell you what happens, but I've just been told to turn them all off if you want to use this program. So I did, and so should you. Let me see. Turn off as many overlays as you can. I hear that causes issues. I've never had any issues with overlays, but I also don't use a lot of overlays. Um, so to so if you're wanting to use this in a game other than Elden Ring or Wuthering Waves that has a 60 FPS cap already built in, you will have to manually add a cap. You don't want to use this program without capping the FPS, because if you do, it will look and feel horrible. So to do that, there's two ways. I prefer using RTSS, wherever it may be. Hold on, RTS. Yeah, right here. Oh, did my game crash? I think it did. I think RTSS just made my game crash. I'm still recording. Okay, interesting. Oh, nope, didn't crash. Great.
It is natural to feel
Alright, here we go.
dreadful of the unknown.
You can
there are
show
times when the
metrics and it will
unknown
show your
harbors
actual
hope.
FPS. I don't know if this
Like
even,
how
yeah, it
I
does show
can
up.
never
Okay,
know
good.
what else this
But you don't really need that because the loss of scaling already does that, so I'll just turn that off. But right here, frame rate limit. So type in whatever you want your frame rate to be, or whatever you want it capped at, and then apply this here. Once again, to apply it, you click this, click on whatever you need to scale, and then wait for the timer to go up, and then we'll scale it. Remember that what you're seeing on screen is not what I'm seeing at all. I don't know how to fix that issue with OBS. Give me one moment. Okay, so when capping your FPS in a game that doesn't already have a cap, you want to make sure you're getting well over whatever you capped it at. If you're getting 80 frames, you want to probably cap it at like 60, because when it hitches worse than it would if you had frame gen off. That could be because of the performance impact it has. That could also just be because frame gen doesn't handle hitching very well. When I use this in squad, it will make my game feel buttery. It feels so nice, but when I hitch, it feels horrible, so bad. I want to use it in squad. I really want to, because it feels really nice and it looks really nice in that game, but I cannot, because when squad hitches, it feels so bad. It'll definitely get me killed in the game. I'm pretty sure I haven't covered this yet, but it costs $7 on Steam. It's not free, unfortunately, but it's a lot cheaper than buying an AMD card to turn it on in BIOS for it not to work with most games, or just have issues. And it's also a lot better than being stuck with waiting for AMD or NVIDIA to add it on a per game basis. It's also a lot better than having to manually install a mod into the game files. So I get why it's $7. I'm glad it's $7. I'm happy I can support the person who made this. He did an awesome job. I think this is a really cool piece of software.
There are times when the unknown harbors hope. Like how I can never know what else
Let me
this
see. Luck does vary from game to game. So whenever you're using this program, I don't know why or what it is in particular. It could be me doing something wrong. Like I said, you can always refer to their Discord. They have a bunch of solutions on there. The community is like, they're very respectful, they're very patient. If you have any problems, you can always join there and ask them like, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? And you should get a response pretty quick. But yeah, sometimes when applying it, I either just don't get my frame gen at all. It applies and it looks like it applies. It scales my screen and makes it look like it's full screen. But I don't get the frame gen. I don't know what causes that. Yeah. Okay, so clipping issues. I don't notice it in any other game except for Wuthering Waves. So in Wuthering Waves, whenever you like move left and right like this, my character will like kind of clip in and out of existence for like a split second. It's not really noticeable. It's not like it's like game breaking or anything. It's definitely a product of the frame gen, without a doubt. But it doesn't really outweigh the pros of using it, in my opinion. I don't want to say it's irrelevant, but to me it is. It might bother other people. It is an artifact that shows up. There is artifacting when using frame gen. So yeah, I wanna say this one more time before I end the video. For low-end systems that can't hold a consistent frame rate on a game, this will not save your game experience. You're not going to go from getting 15 frames to getting like triple that and then it feeling great. That's not going to happen. If you can't get a consistent, so you can cap it at 30 and then upscale it to 60 or 90, but I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't. It's not great. I don't even want to say it's better than playing at native 30 frames. It looks smoother, but man, it doesn't feel great. Now, if you can get the game to run at a consistent 60 and above and cap it there, it's nice. It's really great. I've been playing Wuthering Waves with it and I have no complaints. I never play this game without it because I think it looks so nice and it feels really nice to use. One more thing. If you don't want to download RTSS and you have an NVIDIA card, to cap your FPS through the control panel, you want to come to Manage 3D Settings. I lied. You want to go to Adjust Image Settings with Preview. Go to Use Advanced. You want to click Use Advanced 3D Image Settings, and then there should be an Apply button down here. You click Apply. After it's done applying, it might take a second. Go to Manage 3D Settings. Find Program Settings here. Find whatever game you're wanting to set the cap to. In this case, I guess, well, this already has one built in. Wuthering Waves already does. But I guess like Arma, for example. Where's it at? It's in here somewhere. Max frame rate, right here. You can just click on and then set it to whatever you want it to cap your FPS to. And then whenever you boot up the game, oh yeah, don't forget to click apply. Whenever you boot up the game, it'll be capped at that FPS, and as long as you don't dip below that, frame gen should feel and look good. I think that's about it. All right. Thank you and goodbye.